Bax-shop, the mastering masterclass we're going to do today during ADA, the Amsterdam Dance Festival. We have somebody here today who's going to lead you through the process of mastering. A guy who's famous from production with Tiesto, other guys, famous Dutch DJs and producers, and all coming to him to say, hey, mastering, what is mastering? How do you do it? What is the right way to do it? We're going to lead you through today through the process. On the end, we have some vouchers and nice things for you. Welcome here. And I want a big round of applause for Hans Willem Malloy.
Hello. Okay, for today's demo, I get a track from a DJ from Holland, the Wildstylez. I can explain the process of mastering and mixage for simple steps together. In mastering process, I also use some outboard gear, like the Elysia compressor. Is a tool to get me achieve the right quality of sound I like to have. I use the Apollo interface for the analog digital conversion, and of course Logic to show you the mix down and the final process, how I achieve the final result for a decent mastering. First of all, I want to let you hear the entire song, and after that I explain a little bit of the process.
Your smile is so fake, the love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies, your solid alibis, the artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now, the lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now, the lies that fool
Okay, now as we hear, quite uplifting track, kind of hardstyle with a lot of lower end frequency, um, dynamic bass lines, very empty and produced. You see the different stems, all rendered on minus 6 dB. That's the basic principle for mastering for me. Normally, when you try, if you contact a mastering company, they always ask you, give me the stereo file. Please bounce it as the minus 6, minus 8 level. I skipped the process around 2 years ago. Normally, the mastering process I achieved was very easy in stereo file, render it with Logic or something else, and then try to get the best result with multi-dynamic compressing, multi-limiting, and multi-dynamic IQ settings. In the final result, the loudness war was going to kill us. Every DJ want, without doubt, play it to the to the max at 0 dB on your Pioneer desk, and simply festivals like Tomorrowland or Ultra, all the PA front of house guys said we like to have lower, better sounding tracks, acceptable for the very hard tracks like from Showtech, where they use a normal mastering function, but in the end, I tried to convince my clients to have them better balanced sound with stem mastering and leave simple way the stereo mastering. This guy, he rendered for me some stems. Now you see the bass lines, the chorus lines, the claps, percussion, kick, etc., etc. For me, where I start to look is if the sound of the quality of the track has some ultimate peaks, which I have to simply to avoid in my mastering process. When you hear the vocal, oh, I have an iMac, that's what's something simpler. Sorry. Here we go. Beetje lef misschien maar.
The love you imitate, your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies, your solid alibis, the artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts.
Okay. This vocal line has a lot of transient in the upper frequency, a lot of humbling noise around the middle section, and some annoying low peak end, which I like to kill in the mastering process. I have two options. I can use the simple stereo EQ function like you see on the FEP filter. It's some kind of random peak pointing. You choose a frequency you see on your analyzer. You try to listen these are PA speakers, so it's a bit difficult for me because they are not studio monitors, but in the frequency spectrum, I analyze where I have to cut or adapt some frequencies. Okay, for example.
Smile, it is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding
Hij schudt het af en you hear
the artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down.
Okay. In the mid-side range, I like to use a little mid-side EQ function because I hear a little bit clicking in the upper voice. I simply divide the two sections in the mid and the side chain EQ setting. I cut the frequency about here. I pass it to the left and to the right. Simply wise, I choose the frequency spot, and when we have a normal cut filter, like here, I can use a ramp directly to the ground, and you see I have a mid-side EQ function divided into two places. I will show you the different spots on the EQ section together with the vocal harmony includes the reverb, because I think the guy used a very simple reverb, maybe a plugin from Fruity Loops or something else. And when you not correct that wisely, you see that the end frequencies of the reverb will kind of wutter in the final mastering like a and I don't want it. So I show you how it's constructed.
Your smile, it is so fake. Imitate. You're mispresented. Ain't fooled for a day. Your eyes, your solid alibis. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes.
Okay. Now I have corrected the transient line of the vocal harmony, basically the main important part of a song, in my opinion. And I show you the reverb. It's a simple UAT reverb. Als die gewoon aangaat. Yeah, here we go. You can use all kind of frequency reverbs if you like. This is a simple one. Also there is a lexicon reverb. I'm going to show you. Maybe a bit better. Where are you? Here we go. This kind of reverb, lexicon, is a very famous one from the days I was young. And it was a hardware kind of machine with a lot of adapt functions. It's analog, and you would convert it to a kind of reasonable plugin. And I show you that this reverb is simply compact, not too wide in the mid-range, not too the decay values of the tail of the reverb are small enough to fit in the final mastering process.
Your smile, it is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies. Your solid alibis. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts.
Okay, also a little bit of delay on the final tail, and especially with my experience for bigger PA systems on the Tomorrowland kind of festivals, vocals are not reaching that far. Mostly the first 50, 100, 200 meter, that's normal. After that it's gonna drop immediately, lower frequency, always the PA systems have much more power. and the vocals are always left behind. This little trick to simple merge or slice the mid and the side frequency in the vocal, give the final PA and the final track something like 2 or 3 dB more power in the vocal line. In the mastering process, of course, it's important that we lower the entire track back to minus or something like 0 dB. We don't want to have distortion or clipping. Okay. First, I'd like to explain a little bit about the Elysia compressor. One moment. It's gone away. Up. You see on the screen the plugin of the Elysia. I normally use the hardware machine, of course. It's working, but it's working in the AD of in digital audio converter because, simple-wise, I don't have the power on the PA system. It will clipping and distort everything. And like here, you can see it's much better. So it's actually working, but I show you the final process on the screen. Okay. Zo? Ja. Het is ook topsport, hè? Ik snap je. Normaal heb ik dat ding ook nooit op mijn hoofd. Maar ik doe mijn best, oké? Okay. First of all, I lower the individual stems with minus 3 dB, 2.8, and to avoid distortion, I will bring it to the max low dB setting every time I add a plugin. Here we go.
Your smile, it is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies. Your solid alibis. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts.
You see, I use 5 different plugins to boost up my master mix. I had to go a little bit lower to the 4.6 stems dB setting, but in the end, we're going to recover that in the final mastering mode in iZotope. First of all, I put on a manually variable multi-compressor. I used to work normally with the hardware version, but the plugin is quite okay. And as you see, it works with a very simple amplitude filter to normal outputs, simple dual inputs. some recovery from the compressor to kick the volume back, attack threshold, mid-side leveling, and finally, for me important, a good visuality on the VU meters. Directly there for the second part, I used the FabFilter Pro C, and basically I will kind of show you now that the FabFilter is only correcting the lower frequency in the bass line. There are two options for hardstyle mastering. You can use a 200 Hz mono filter, then every PA man will very happy, but it costs a lot of stereo spread, and yeah, I prefer to correct the 200 Hz mono section with a stereo fab filter compressor with yeah, a sidechain filter. I will explain it now. Two, one, two. If you lower the music a little bit. Thank you very much. A little bit, yeah, thank you. Okay, the fab filter use a very simple variable. Beetje laag. Even zacht maken. In off mode, the signal pass through. When I put it on, you see on the right hand okay, I will stop the music, it will be a little bit easier. Okay. The fab filter is for me important to use because it eliminates the lower frequency, as I told, and I'm gonna explain you why. The compressor works with a normal threshold setting, normal ratio, attack release, of course, New York compression completely together in one button. Normally, a lot of guys, yeah, they know this section, infinity off, only the compressor session. Maybe some kind of easy trick to combine it again together, but decompress the lower frequency immediately. The knee function cuts off the normal bass kick, and in the sidechain level, I can put that same signal back into the compressor, while the pumping will be avoided. As you see, I use the sidechain filtering, and this compressor uses a very simple trick in mid-side leveling. You can use it also as a mid-side compressor in the lower frequencies. You see the EQ bending is quite directly and very precise. I think around 100 Hz, a normal low cut is okay. Maybe a little bit more. And in the band pass mode, in the mid-side range, I can literally adapt every frequency in the mid section, except from the side. It's a quite old normal trick to divide the master sections in the left, right, mid, side setting. It's very old, of course, because it's from the mono setting. But a lot of masterers use it as a trick to give it more dynamic, and I use it like more to give the punch of the track more presence. It's both ways are okay, but this is more precisely in the lower frequency part. Simply said, when I turn the attack from the compressor clockwise to the right side, the bass drum will pump and float together with the bass line. Simply done by putting the audio signal from the bass line into the compressor feed. Five or six more options. They recently updated it, so it's a big improvement. For mastering, the value is peaking up a little bit more, and in the clean section, which I use, is it more mono from the top. Okay. Now we can use the Elysia. Settings are in front of the of this hardware equipment. I show you the settings in the plugin. Okay, what I basically did with the Elysia is use them in mid-side mode. The mid-side mode gives me more control in the lower frequencies and the side more to the higher frequencies. This part is basically connected to the mono side, just the mid side, and the right part is basically connected to the side. Simply said, the Elysia protect me from a kind of over-accelerate the dynamics of the track. The sidechain filter in this mode is simply a kind of threshold limiter. You see, I use the 80 Hertz spot to clock counterwise it in high pass filter. So basically all the frequency are passing through from there. The EQ on the right side here is in the mono setting, basically the same like in the side section. There's one little button here, you can multiply it with 10, so you get higher in the frequency spot. Threshold are basically low, because I have a very low threshold to peak on the master section. And here you have the parallel compression function, completely dry or completely wet, directly feed into the same processor. Also you have some kind of distortion clipper. In hardware you can use it, in software it's not very good, because I put it on a few minutes ago and I turned it right and something messy happens. So in plugin it's not very good. In the hardware version you can use it like a little distortion in the underground for hardstyle bass lines or kick drums. Here you see the normal gain function. Now the gain function is nothing more than like to pump it up in the lower frequency as adapted with this Elysia. Okay. simply said, EQing now in this process with this kind of speakers, it's quite useless because I don't hear that much to correct. I only hear a little bit, noisy and bad in the high frequency, so I leave it like this. Various options to adapt the EQ section, of course, but in this kind of setting, without speaker monitoring studio and my studio environment, I'm afraid that I'm gonna mess up a lot of it, and that is not good for now. I will explain why this is a very good EQ, because we have a simple mono maker. I explained before, but I don't use it. Like this, for hardstyle around 200 Hertz, you got perfect mono kicks and bass lines, so very good for it. A DS function, very useful for noisy synths and noisy vocals. Bass shifter, presence shifter, of course, and multiband 4 EQ section in variable functions. Mid-side mastering, dual mono, and mid-side recording. Mid-side recording is not good to use here because I don't record anything. But the master section in mid-side is very handy. Again, here the mid section, there the side section. So I put it on, and maybe I can correct a little bit later, but I prefer to do that in the master isotope session. Okay. And final, I use a very old hardware piece of equipment developed by Eurod backwards in a plugin. And basically the saturator gives me more control on the mastering drive and a little bit distortion to edit in the lower and the higher frequencies, in exception to the mid and the side field. You see 4 sections divided, the mid-high, the side high function, the low and the mid-low function. All combined with gain, simple distortion like you have on every amplifier. The drive to compensate that, and of course a button to merge together. If you give me 1 second, I will adapt a little bit of it.
Your smile, it is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies. Your solid alibis. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts.
Maybe you noticed I pressurize my nose. When you go mastering at home or whatever in the studio, Always be aware of the kind you have when you are under the water. Always in 1 or 2 minutes. Put out the pressure of your ears, because it's going to be, the higher frequencies are gone within 2 or 3 minutes. It's a very useful trick for mastering at home, or use your monkey ears, and you will see that sound will improve immediately. Okay. Yeah.
We do a round of questions, maybe?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Is there anybody who have a question to answer Willem at this moment, at this point in the demo, in the workshop? No? Okay, then maybe later on, so Hans, you can continue.
Except the microphone is better now. Huh? I'm out of breath. Very bad condition. Okay. I have explained a little bit about this track to master. Normally, I do this process in 1 or 2 minutes. So for me, it's not difficult to explain everything, of course, because I like it. But if you have questions about how you work at home or in your studio, and maybe you already know all the kind of things that I am telling now, but mastering for me is like a process that it has to be in my fingers immediately. 1, 2, 3 minutes, it's enough. And every time the same discipline to correct and to listen to things. Never spend more than 10, 15, 20 minutes to a master job, because it's useless. 1, 2, 3 minutes, final.
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
I don't see a lot of metering software going, so that's my question really. So do you only use your ears for the mastering when you're in your own studio environment, or what is your how do you think about that kind of things? Is it also the use of the mastering? Do you use a lot of mastering software, of metering software?
Yeah, of course. But as I told before, it's a little bit useless here, because I have a little bit high and some low, and no.
Do you use it also?
Yes, of course, but I don't have it here. It's Nugen software, Nugen audio, and it's basically a broadcast kind of software. And of course, you see a lot of frequencies spread out or jumping around, and etc., etc. But finally, my ears are more important than what I see. Because when I can trust my ears, it's basically very difficult to correct things. Understand? That's why I compress my ears every time, because the pressure from the audio and the adaptations in the program or in the process during the process is more important than visualization of it. Okay. I re-listen one final time, and then we're gonna render it, and I do the final stage of isotope mastering with limiting and etc.
Your smile is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies. Your solid alibis. The artificial tears roll
Okay. Some little adaptations for the final correction, and it's not very useful, but you never know when there's a lot of low rumbling. Now it's gone. Let's bounce. Okay, root and bouncing, otherwise the hardware compressor doesn't work. Now, what I thought was happened, yes, it is, because you see it's a very small wave file. Basically, it should be a little bit higher, but more bigger. But due to the speaker environment, I miscalculate myself 1 or 2 dB, but I will correct it in the maximizer. Okay, here you see the final stage of the mastering process. A simple ozone mastering software, and 3 simple parts I will use: the equalizer, the dynamics, and the maximizer to final pinpoint the last points. To maintain the powerful lower ends, I still use again the Pro C, because I missed something in the values, so I have to correct it. And of course, I place it behind the maximizer, the final limiter. That's nice.
Your smile, it is so fake. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me or the truth that hurts. Take back the words that will break down the world. I don't know what is worse now. The lies that fool me
Okay, now, as you hear in the final mastering section of the isotope, I simply use the maximizer to reach 0 dB setting. Here it's set on -2. You can duck it as much as you like, but to give it a little bit space in the dB section, -2, -3 is maximum. Otherwise, pumping will occur. The character of the transients developer is at 2. It can be a little bit faster, but 2 is normal. I always unlink the stereo file, so the processing of isotope will use the left and the right channel independently. And the transient impedance is basically on 0, because there are a lot of low frequency and less high frequencies. You see in the multiband compressor, I simply use the preset version. Of course, in the ratio, you can use it like an expander.
Your smile is so fake, the love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies, your solid alibis.
Good. Now, as you hello. Are you fine?
Wildstylez is in.
What?
So,
What?
Wildstylez is binnen. Dus
Ah,
we zijn
great.
nog een,
Sorry for a bit messing up your track, but nice to have you here. Great. You see in the final mastering process, I will be around 0 dB for maximum, but in the end, normally in studio I do a lot better, of course, I'm sure. But to give you a good idea of the mastering process I use, you have seen that I started with some logic file to render the individual stems with some adaptation in EQ, dynamics and processing. And in the isotope version, you see simple multiband compressing to correct a lot of things, the limiter, and as final the Pro C to give the lower ends a bit more punch, which normally are better here, better visible when you have some analyzer. Okay. As far as my part, I will ask you if you have some questions in your own setting. So when you work for yourself, if you have any questions, you can ask them, of course. Otherwise, I'd like to introduce the original composer of the track, of course. And you can ask him a lot of questions, I think.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good one. The man who brings this noise to you. Mr. Wildstylez.
Hi.
Yo. Good afternoon, everyone. So,
We're
we have a day
finished.
today.
We're finished.
Oh, you're finished?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, already.
How does it sound?
Eh?
How does it sound?
Bad, badly.
Oh, really?
Your track's perfect, but I don't have a good reference speaker set, so. But I think that the guys in the audience like to ask you questions about his workflow or maybe something like that. Go ahead if you have, if you dare. Otherwise, it's better that you.
Is there someone here who ever tried to produce hardstyle, or is it all EDM? You tried it, or you were like always producing?
Sorry.
Okay, and what's the hardest thing for you?
Making the cake.
Yeah, true.
That's a pain in
It
the
is,
ass.
it is. It's kind of hard to explain it in a few minutes.
Yeah, maybe. I have Logic if you like, and maybe we can pick your kick for. I can remove a lot of this. Do you use something like this for this kind of plugins, or do you have?
I always have the same setup. I use the Manly or the I don't know what's called the Q-Tech from
Q-Tech,
yeah,
yes.
but the one from Waves.
Okay.
I always use it for the high frequencies because I love the sound of that. I use the FAB filter multiband compressor.
Okay.
Sometimes I use the Brainworks, the for the control V2 or something. It's
Yeah, V2. I have.
for the stereo track and the maximizer of also.
Okay. You can go into the plugins because they are separately here. So if you like to give more explanation about the kick, you can put some plugins together if you like.
Yeah, but the kick
It's
is
already
like
finished,
it's like
yeah.
difficult. It's already a kick I produced in like 2,000 hours, you know.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
it's kind of hard to. I mean, well, itself, of course, the distortion is really important of the kick. Most of the time, I use a 909, just a basic kick, and then I put some distortion on it, and then some equalizing before or after the distortion, and then another distortion, and just make peaks or just cut stuff, you know. Then, but it's like a process of hours and hours and hours to have the results,
Like this.
which sounds like this. The only difference with this kick, this kick was already there, and then I layered, I don't know where it is, some regular kicks underneath it, just to, no, it's not this, I guess.
Yep.
Where are we in the track?
Cool.
So just that kick over there, just to give the punch a little bit more body, because the hard cells, like in the punch, there's like almost no low frequencies, like most times like that. And so, with using that housey kick, I give it a little more body, and did some side chaining on the regular hardstyle kick, so it doesn't interfere with each other.
Okay, and about the mono processing around 200 hertz, what's your opinion about it?
Sorry.
The mono hertz processing around 200 hertz, what's your opinion about that?
Well,
In hardstyle, kind of kick like this. Because in the mastering process, I put it very small for the audience, but it's quite wide. So you use mono spreading or you don't use it?
well, I use it while making the kick, but with the mastering, I keep it as it is.
Okay. Because this is what you use, I think.
No, I use another one.
Ah.
Do you have all the?
Not all. Was very expensive. But
I never worked with Logic
okay,
before.
no problem. I help you.
I used the Control V2 or something. It's called, I guess.
you.
Oh, it's different. Oh, I have the Brainworks one, and it's just
You
which is I just use it to spread the high frequencies like for 10-15% or something like
Okay.
that. Just get the high end, make it a little wider.
Okay, that's an interesting part because in the mastering process I use Elysia, and it gives me a lot of hardware extra,
Yeah.
and also it started to be very noisy.
Yeah.
So you put, from my point of view, I think you put maybe a bit too less, but it's your user. I try to master it,
Yeah.
and during the process I got a little bit stuck in the middle because I didn't recognize all the frequencies anymore, which you maybe use or not use.
Yeah, well, the thing with Wildstylez is that if you see if you analyze like the kick by itself, if you don't listen to it and you see only the analyzer, it's like it's already a track by itself, you know.
Yes.
So that's also the hardest part at producing hardstyle. That there are not that much frequencies you can use anymore.
Okay, and referring to using a frequency table, the kick is probably in D or something, C, I don't know. It's a note, it's a tone.
Yeah, well, this kick is like, well, it starts in F sharp, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, the frequencies change. I mean, I made the kick and then I transpose it by itself.
Yeah.
I don't EQ all the kicks by itself.
Alright, okay.
For every note, so.
Maybe that was the problem I occurred.
Yeah, but the hardstyle is like really different than to other genres.
Yes.
Where you have more space to keep it a little bit dynamic. So if not like really into hardstyle, it's kind of hard to master it.
To be honest, I totally lost myself.
Yeah.
I'm always very honest in this. So,
Well, the thing is that I already I don't do that much with mastering anymore.
okay.
It's kind of hard to if you put a compressor over the track or something. There's no space in the track, so I mean,
No.
it sounds messed up, you know. So yeah, most of the mastering I do already while mixing.
Okay. All right.
So you rather not master it afterwards?
Yeah, true. Only thing I do is like I'm
Yeah, wow.
already the.
For my
No, but I have a channel strip at the master output, and I put like already told the fab filter multiband compressor, the PubeTech or the Manly for the high frequencies, and just the control from Brainworks to make the high frequencies a little wider, and sometimes to make the low frequencies a little more mono. But that's basically it.
So you screwed up a little bit your song.
Yeah, I cannot
Definitely.
hear it.
Definitely,
Maybe
yeah,
it sounds.
definitely.
Maybe we can hear the difference between your mastering and
I will be very honest with you. Normally I got a speaker system about 20k in my studio. I got a rack of about 100k hardware equipment. So this for me is kind of playing with my kids football soccer. It's
also nice, but
it's very nice.
On the other end, the speakers are the hardest part, you know. It's like.
I'm very happy that he is here now because we have a little bit interaction during his program. That it's more important what he does than that I have done already here. I only try to show you what kind of master plugins and how it's possible to use it for your own.
Yeah, I got a question for Johan. It's Johan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do the whole mastering process yourself, or do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same problem as we have here. If we already tried to master my tracks in like big studios in the US or like big studios in the UK, and they don't understand the music, you know, and it's so different than a lot of other genres that they fuck up the tracks most of the time. So yeah, that's a problem we have to deal with. It makes the style unique, but it makes it also a little bit difficult to produce and to master it. So I do all the mastering myself. Even my whole album, I did the mastering myself. Because the thing is that I wanted to sound as I produce it, also after the master. You know, otherwise, if I wanted to sound if I wanted it to sound different, I already would have done it while producing, while arranging or while mixing. So that's yeah, it's hard to do a lot of stuff afterwards.
Yeah, okay, I understand. That's maybe Justin Prime, a friend of mine, he produced hardstyle earlier and he told me exactly the same story.
Yeah, yeah, but this is like I already said, you know, if you analyze just the kick, it looks like probably the same. If someone would see that, he would think it's already a track. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
it's just a kick. It's like 80% of the spectrum already, so it's pretty hard. But you have to find ways to.
Don't go to the mastering.
Don't go to the mastering. No.
Okay.
That's most of the time.
Got another question. It's not really about mastering, but what's your opinion about? Do you think hardstyle is the most difficult electronic music to make? 'Cause I'm not sure, but yeah, maybe. But what do you think? Is this the hardstyle to make?
Yeah, well,
The most complex one?
Yeah, when you want to do all the things yourself, I mean, if you sample a kick, it's already a lot easier, you know. But if your kick doesn't sound right, your whole track is going to suck, you know. So that's I cannot tell if it's like the hardest style. I mean, if I listen to a lot of dubstep things, I mean that sounds so like complex. I'm not sure if I can do that, you know. Sometimes when I hear some house tracks, I'm like, okay, well, I can do that. I know how it works, but it's difficult to say. The kick is the hardest part, and besides that, you have to.
Maybe you can explain. The vocal line is for me very natural, kind of indie. Why?
I just mix it.
Yeah, okay,
I don't have a theory about it.
Okay.
I get vocals and I just mix it till it sounds right for me. I use a lot of waves plugins. For the vocal, I use the what's it called? Maserati, I guess.
Okay, Maserati.
Just to make it, give it a little more presence and to compress it and to make it loud. I really like the de-esser from Pop Filter.
Okay.
I think it's the best one out there, at least the best one I know. Yeah, that's basically it. And I always use I have a hardware lexicon reverb.
Okay.
For me, it sounds the best on vocals. And I sometimes
The MP1, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, do you layer your compressors on the vocals? Do you layer some compressors or just use one that does the job?
Most of the time, I first use the RFox just to only compress it, the RFox from Waves, and then after that I use the Maserati to give it a little more presence and just this touch.
Because I started the demo with analyzing the vocal line, and I did a lot of troubleshooting myself. I
Okay.
think maybe you can give an opinion about it, if you like. It's a nice one.
So it's, it's
Smile, it is so fake. The love you imitate. Your mispresented heart got me fooled for a day. Your truthful sounding lies. Your solid alibis. The artificial tears rolling down from your eyes. Take back the words that will break down the world.
it sounds a little more fresh, but I miss a little body and vocal because you cut all the frequencies.
Yeah, that's
little
it's
too
in the
much.
side mode.
Oh, okay, it's
So
the side
that's
mode.
maybe 1% of the lower spectrum.
Yeah.
But you say the vocal is already good because you use the Maserati, which flows more the
Yeah.
transient in the higher spectrum.
Yeah, well, the thing is also in the final mix with pure tech on it for the high frequencies, sounds a little more fresher than in this outtake. But yeah, only thing I miss a little body when you
Okay.
put on the Pro Q.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have some kind of more questions? Because we're already in it.
Just one question. For the kick, you use a sampler to transpose it or to change the key. Which sampler do you know?
Well, the kick, I already pitch it in Logic itself, just as an audio file. I just duplicate the kicks, and then I already make like an octave,
Octave.
with all the kicks, and then I load it into the sampler of Logic, but you can also use, of course, Contact or whatsoever. So, but I only pitch the part after the punch.
Yeah.
So if you sample or also pitch the punch, it's going to sound really messy. But I already do that, and then I load into the sampler, whether it's the one from Logic or the Contact or whatsoever.
Okay.
Thanks.
Somebody else? Very interesting question to you. Something that is on your mind, you think, I need to know?
Is anyone inspired to make hardstyle right now?
Here's a question. What synthesizers do you use for the synths?
My favorite is by far the Virus C. It's a little older one. Nowadays everybody uses
TI.
yeah, but it sounds too digital in my opinion. That's for me the most important. It's like always the base of my lead sounds. It has this crunchy high frequency which I really love. But I also use Spire Nexus just for some chords underneath it, silent. Sometimes massive, all the well-known plugins, but most of the sounds I make myself. I start from in it, and then from there on I make the sounds myself. I don't use presets as much. Yeah, just the one from Nexus. That's basically it. So yeah, but piracy is the most important for me. And then if I look to like other genres, I don't see that many people using it. Yeah, maybe Showtek uses it still.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
But yeah, nowadays I think most of you produce just with the VSTs or with the audio units. But if you want to buy synth, go and get the piracy, but it's not available anymore.
No,
Right?
yeah, no, the C is not. It's
No.
discontinued in 2007. So.
It's too bad because I really don't like the sound of the TI.
Oh, okay. And that's
You
maybe.
can get some cool sound, but for me it's too digital. I miss some feeling in the filters and stuff.
And you think about some real analog synths. You have, for example, the Moog. If you try that out.
I have the Mini Moog in my studio.
Okay. The real one from the 70s or?
No, the other, sorry, no, I have the Little Fatty.
Okay, Little Fatty.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I had a Lord lead, but I don't use that one anymore. And the Prophet.
5. 1. The new Prophet one.
No,
Or the old.
I'm not sure which one was it looks like a virus.
Okay. I know what you.
I don't know exactly the name.
Yeah, Prophet is an old manufacturer from analog
Yeah.
Synthi, and they reassigned it. Okay. Yes.
The Virus C is by far my favorite, so if you can get one anywhere. They're not that expensive though.
700.
700 euros, something like that, yeah.
Can I ask, do you have any like basic workflow Did you like the first to come up with the melody or with the kick or?
Yeah, that's different every time. Sometimes I get a vocal and I start from there. Sometimes I have a melody in my head and then I start from there. And sometimes I just I'm making a sound. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then make a track with it, you know. So it can be like pretty much everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
How long does it take to finish that track with Bernhard?
I think we worked on this for like a week or two, something like that. When I get a vocal, which I really feel, I'm like really fast with producing. I mean, the arrangement is like
And
done in just.
did you first get the vocal or did you start with an instrumental track?
No, we got the vocal first for this track, and I made the first demo was like finished in just a few hours, and from there on, we started to produce the whole track and mix it and stuff. And of course, in the end, there are some troubles with it. And the thing with this vocal was that I think the original chord progression started in D or D sharp. I'm not sure anymore, but in hardstyle that's way too high for the kick, you know. And you can have that kick like somewhere in the chord progression, but not to start with, because if you start with, I can show. If you start over here. Oh, what? Yeah, well, I don't even think that D is there anymore, but you hear the higher the kick is, the less power it has, you know, and the F sharp is like all the frequencies you want to hear are there, you know. So that was a problem we started with. So we had to change the chord progression. It starts as it was originally intended, and then we switched to the. This is the original progression.
Control.
Yeah, and then the second part we switched to the F sharp and changed progression a little bit. Normally there would be the D also, so there was a problem we had before we had to we could finish the track, because you have to find a way out, and it's also a problem with hardstyle to start with an F or an F sharp or a G or somewhere like that to have the right power in the kick.
And then the volumes on the front.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
My setup.
And I don't know. Okay. I look at Johan. Maybe we're kind of finished.
If there are not more any questions, but if there are, please do. Wildstylez is here now, Hans is here now, so take your time to ask the questions.
Where do you get your vocals from? Did they send it to you, or is there some kind of eBay for it? Or
Probably. I
Go
think,
ahead.
I think you can also buy like this royalty-free vocals all over the internet. For me, there are a few ways. Sometimes, for example, this track, and also I don't know if you know "Lose My Mind," but he's like the singer of this track is like a good friend of the other producer where I made this track with, Brennan Hart. And they already got the vocal, they already made it and recorded it. But sometimes I contact people, for example with Zero Summer, I contacted Niels. And besides that, sometimes you get some demos from people, and sometimes you have a demo and you send them to your manager, to my management, and they're going to look for a top line on it. So there are a few different ways to get your vocals, but you have to be patient with it. Normally, I mean, if you make a track and you want a vocal on it, just send it to some songwriters or anything, or to a publisher who can help you with it.
Everything clear or
So
burning questions?
what are your tips for us starting producers for the future? Like how to
How to get famous.
no, I don't know to famous, but how to just
He is.
start our career.
Well,
do you have any tips maybe? No, maybe.
Yeah, well, the most important is that you're like going for like 100% for it, and then spend like every second, every free second in the studio. Besides that, what really helped me is just to imitate my favorite hardstyle producers when I started. I just wanted to sound my track exactly like theirs, you know, not the arrangement, but the way it sounds.
Okay.
So pick your favorite producer and try to imitate it, and from there on you will find your own way in it, I guess. And do a lot of analyzing, you know, with the frequencies and stuff. And if you're not sure about it, just analyze it. You have a lot of match EQs and stuff like that. So you can match your track with your favorite track, and then you will see what frequencies miss, or what frequencies are there too much and stuff like that. And so that's my way probably.
Do you have any mixing tips or techniques that you usually use to mix individual, like the bass line or the leads, or?
Well, the most important, but I'm not sure in other genres if it works, but the thing what helps me a lot is just to make the source of the sound, keep it original, you know, keep it like the way it sounds from the synth, or change it in the synth already. I see a lot of people doing a lot of EQing, and personally I don't like it. It's I don't know, it kind of fucks up the original sound. And the only thing I do is, like, most of the time when I have sound, I just cut a little in the low and give it a few dB in the high frequencies, and that's it. I make sure that that it already sounds good from its original source. It's the same with reverb. I mean, the reverb from the virus sounds the best with the virus, you know. If you don't have any reverb on your virus, and you put like the Valhalla or the Lexicon or whatever on it, it always sounds a little, I don't know.
Not matching.
Not matching, yeah. True. So keep the source as original as possible.
Well, thank you. This was about the end of the demo. And great round of applause for the Wildstylez.
Well, thank you.